Hey guys, welcome back. Now when it comes to gaming keyboards, we are all spoiled for choice. There are so many to choose from a multiple number of brands. Alright, but today we're going to review the very first gaming keyboard on our channel. We're going to review the ASUS TUF Gaming K7. Now within ASUS itself, you've got a few different, I don't know what you call it, maybe sub-brands. You've got the ASUS Prime, which is sort of like an all-rounder. You've got the ASUS TUF Gaming, which is what this keyboard falls under. And then you've got the ROG Strix and of course the ROG itself. Now this one obviously, like I said, falls under the TUF Gaming. And from what I can see in their products, they really focus a lot on durability and making sure that it is, well, tough. Now with this keyboard, it's no different. First of all, you've got IP56 water and dust resistance, which is impressive. And then you've got aircraft grade aluminium. Now, to be honest, I'm not quite sure what that means. There are actually different types of aluminium that is considered aircraft grade, or different alloys of aluminium that is considered aircraft grade. So I don't know what they mean by that, to be honest. But the general characteristics of aircraft grade aluminium is that it's usually lightweight and it is usually heat-proof or very durable. So I guess that's what it basically means, that you probably won't get rust or anything like that anytime soon, which is great again, no issues with that. Now other things about this keyboard also feel pretty durable, from the keys to the weight, although I mean, yeah, it doesn't feel heavy, but it feels really rigid, and I was quite impressed. It's relatively light, I would say. Actually, it seems lighter than a lot of other gaming keyboards that I've had the opportunity of testing out, but it feels really good, which I guess was a consideration, because this is something that, you know, if it's really durable, you might want to bring around for LAN parties and all that. You don't have to worry. Usually when you have LAN parties, you have drinks, you have chips and food while you're gaming. So with this, it's durable enough that you don't have to worry about any of that. Now it also comes with this, which is a palm rest, which at first wasn't really a big deal to me, because every other palm rest I tried, I haven't really liked, because I found that it was actually more uncomfortable to have it there on the keyboard. But this was surprisingly good. It had a really nice touch to it. When I put my palm on it, it didn't raise my hand to a point where it was a little uncomfortable to press the keys. I was actually as impressed with this as I was with the keyboard. Now looking under the keys, you'll realize that every single key is RGB illuminated. And coupled with the fact that you've got this sort of aluminium finish at the bottom and it's not recessed, the reflections of the light shines around the keyboard really nicely, and I thought that was a really nice finish. And while we're on the subject of the keys, now there's something very unique about this. So these are not your run-of-the-mill mechanical switches. In fact, I don't know if they can be considered mechanical switches. They are more what you would call opto-mechanical switches. So how it works is, in the key itself, you've got an infrared light, okay? And so how it identifies a trigger is when you press the key down, all right, the shaft within the key actually breaks that infrared light. So when it breaks that infrared light, it is triggered as the key press, okay? So why do this and what's the benefit of this? Well, basically it's supposed to have like almost instant response time. Now, from what I have read, generally the average delay from pressing it is about 5 milliseconds. Maybe you might have some that is a bit less, but I mean, ASUS claims a response time. Is that even the correct response time? I don't know. But basically the response time of about 0.2 milliseconds, which is, I mean, yeah, it's about 0.2 before it's actually instant, which is really impressive. But to be honest, using the keyboard and playing games on it, compared to the keyboard that I use, which is from Razer, I mean, I couldn't really tell the difference that much. But then again, I don't play games that are really fast-paced, you know. And if you were to play a really fast-paced game, like what, maybe Fortnite, or any of those really fast-paced FPS games, maybe you could tell the difference. But for me, and I would think the fair majority of people who would buy a mechanical keyboard or a gaming keyboard probably wouldn't tell the difference as well. Now, obviously, because it's not an actual or traditional mechanical keyboard, it will be hard to explain how it is. But I think the closest comparison that I can think of in terms of how it feels, I would say it sort of feels like a brown or red. But in terms of how it sounds, it is really clicky. and it kind of sounds like a blue to me. So I think that's the best comparison that I can think of. But anyway, if you want to hear how it sounds, here it is. Yeah, so there you go. You can draw your own conclusions of how it sounds like. You could disagree with me, that's fine. But anyway, so yeah, I think this is a really good keyboard. They put a lot of focus on design, which is really good. You got good RGB. I really like the reflection of the RGB light on the aluminium surface. And speaking of which, because it's like this and the keys are not recessed, they're actually a lot easier to clean. So if you've got dust or chips or whatever, you might take out the keys, just blow the keyboard and it's all gone. Like if something where the keys are a bit more recessed, it's a lot harder to get dirt out of it. Yeah, of course, now we're going to talk about what I don't like about this keyboard. And to be honest, I like it so much that the things that I don't like about it are kind of inconsequential and also kind of more of my taste than mine. It's not just something that I don't like that affects everybody, right? So the first thing I would say is the TUF Gaming brand, okay? Now, with a lot of other ASUS ROG stuff or whatever, there is a lot of ASUS branding around the product to kind of tell you that it's an ASUS product, because ASUS is quite a premium brand, I mean, no doubt. But here, you get a lot of TUF Gaming stuff, you know, from the like over here, it says TUF Gaming, which I don't know, I'm not a fan of that. But what makes it worse is the print here that says "We got your back." What does that even mean? I don't know. But anyway, like I said, that bothers me a little bit. It might not bother you, so that's fine. Yeah, even at the back of the keyboard, even on the palm rest, you've got here on this, it says the ultimate force. It's a lot of weird gimmicky words. I have no idea what it means. But yeah, so this is something that's more of a style thing, and I don't quite like it. But if you do, then that's fine. And one other thing that I didn't quite like is this. So the cable that comes at the back of the keyboard, number one, it's not detachable. I know there are a lot of keyboards that don't come with detachable cables, but I actually really think that that's good, because if something were to happen with the cable, you know, I can always replace it if it was detachable, but this one isn't. Second thing is, it just looks like a normal cable, you know, and it might be really strong cable, it might be really durable, it might be really tough, but you don't get that impression with this. It just looks like a normal cable. Now, if they had at least put like a braided cable, or even, one step up would be like the kind of Kevlar material. And yeah, some cables do have that. Now, even if that doesn't actually help the durability of the cable and it's more of just for show, I would still want them to put it. At least it gives me that peace of mind that, oh, this is really tough. I mean, it might be psychological, but I think that would actually help the keyboard as well. So now let's talk about the price of the keyboard. Now, like I said, the keyboards were really spot for choice, even in terms of the price range, not just in terms of design. Now you've got keyboards on Amazon or Lazada that are really cheap, like 20-30 bucks you can get a keyboard, all the way to $200-300 keyboards. This sort of is in the middle or maybe a bit higher. So in Singapore, this costs about 159 Singapore dollars, so about $160. And why I think this is a good keyboard is not just because of the design and all that, but yeah, like I said, you've got really good durability. You've got all the things that really matter to a gamer. Practical matters, not just like, oh, I want RGB, I want it to look flashy. You know, it's got all the other things that are important. It's really easy to clean. All right, it's very durable. Okay, it's light, so if you want to bring it around for LAN parties, you can. Okay, and it's $159, which is a lot cheaper than a lot of the other premium keyboards. And this does not feel like it's an inferior keyboard. It feels really rigid, feels really solid. Now, in terms of rating, I would give this, I think, a very easy 4.5 out of 5. I think in terms of what they were going for and what their priorities were for building a keyboard, I would say they absolutely nailed it. The reason why I'm not giving 5 out of 5 is just this. And this, but this one I'm not going to consider it the rating because this is a personal preference. But I just wish that they had added like a braided cable or something. I think that would have helped a lot. But just that one thing. Otherwise, if it had a braided cable or a Kevlar cable, I would easily give it a 5 out of 5, because this is a keyboard that is not super expensive, but looking at the build quality, you know that it's going to last for a really, really long time. Alright, so that about wraps up this review. Now, if you like this video, you know what to do, and I would love it if you would subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications on our next video. I'm JP, and I'll see you real soon.